это наша вечерняя встреча, наше вечернее интервью с генеральным менеджером отеля Жан-Клодом Мессаном. И это важная часть, потому что это уникальный человек, он достаточно известен в нашем туристическом мире. Это один из лучших, как говорят, это один из лучших генеральных менеджеров, вообще, наверное, можно сказать, во всем мире. It's not just a pleasure to be at the Royal Mansour, second time in my life. As a general manager, you had, I think, all possible, the best spa of the best. And the Royal Mansour is also a sign in our world. To come here means a lot. What is Royal Mansour for you as a general manager? A home, a working place? What else?
Royal Mansour for me is a dream. I think I'm a very lucky man. I have the best job in the world. Royal Mansour is full of ambition. It's a showcase of the kingdom. We are doing or presenting what's best of the best. So you're talking to someone who is every day looking at beautiful sceneries, beautiful pictures, beautiful drapes, the wood carving, the plaster carving, the furniture. It's a dream come true for me.
For the customers who is coming here, most of us knows that Royal Mansour belongs to a kingdom, and some people are saying they maybe saw a king at the breakfast or the princess at the spa. That's why for us to be responsible for this such two important things, to manage that, to have a king and the customers satisfied, and we know that maybe the king has a lot of meetings here. How to manage that?
I think it's very easy. Everybody knows that the owner of this hotel is the king of the King Mohammed VI. So he's, in a way, the owner is my boss. So I relate to him with respect as the king and as my boss. So yes, he does come, and yes, you could see him having a coffee or having lunch. But he's treated as a guest, and he's very open, and people from the hotel can go and say hello. And so it's nothing different, it's not complicated. And we're very fortunate that we have an ownership interested in the hotel, coming to the hotel and loving the hotel and helping us to share the vision on how to grow and develop and making sure this hotel remains one of the most extraordinary hotels in the world.
As you really know how to take care of wealthy people who with a personality and so on. Me, as the owner of JSP Travel, we feel last 2 years, I would say, that the market is a little bit changing. Maybe you feel the same. I will explain what I mean. There are two different questions. At first, we see that the audience of wealthy people is changing to young. We see more and more young generation coming at the luxury market and looking for particular luxury services. And the second one, that the people who is wealthy, known, maybe not so known, but also wealthy, they're looking not just for destination. They are looking for experience and emotion. That's why we are also now more and more change our advertising to the emotional part. The first question about the young generation, how do you feel that?
20 years ago, a top luxury hotel in Paris, in London, in New York, was full of people in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s. Today, if you look at my guests today, they are, yes, rich. I mean, yes, we are an expensive hotel. But they're in their mid-30s, 40s, they have families, they have children. So they are looking for luxury, they are looking for extraordinary service, but they are a little bit more informal than their parents or grandparents. So yeah, the dress code will be a little bit different. They are very well educated. They are very well traveled because they've been traveling with the parents from an early age. They know exactly what they want. They are still looking for good food, good service and everything. More conviviality, it's warmer, it's not stuffy, it's no arrogancy. It's a nice relationship with those people, which we try to build. Yeah. So I quite enjoy having that mix of the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and yes, of course, still some 60s and 70s. But majority of my guests today would be, I would say, late 30, 40. Experience, emotion. They are not coming here to stay in the hotel and do nothing. They are coming looking for a complete experience. And they can be American, they can be Russian, they can be Chinese, they can be French, or they can be from the Middle East. They want to live the dream. They want the music, they want to smell, they want to eat, they want to drink, they want to go out, they want to go to the desert, they want to go to the mountain, they want to do it all. And we find that if we just offer bed and breakfast, we fail. But if we offer, you know, those beautiful scenery you can see here, great food, great service, you know, personal service, and then we take them outside of Marrakesh or in Marrakesh, in places where on their own they couldn't go. So we give them access to a special location where we know it's exceptional, but where nobody else can go. So they go back home and they say, oh gosh, I don't know how they do it at Royal Mansour, but it's just exceptional. Yeah. So that's that experience, living the dream. We do, of course, couples, we do honeymooners, but we do a lot of group of people or families, or it's 2 couples, 3 couples, 4 couples. They come here to share, to share a good time, to share some emotion. And I think that's very important, and that's a trend which we see here every day. And that's one of our duty, it's to look after those people.
I say that here in Morocco, you open the doors which are usually closed. Yeah. And as we see, we saw it this 9 days. We are here now 9 days, and this country make me crazy. I really changed my mind, my totally understanding about Morocco after I saw how important are connections, people here, and what you was telling. When you're just coming to a hotel, that's nothing. But you are every time open something very special to people, and maybe their kids after will comes here. Maybe you can name something very special you could offer it for a guest for outside the hotel.
I'll give you an example. There is a very famous Frenchman called Serge Lutens. Serge Lutens is a gentleman in his mid-70s now. Serge Lutens was the key man behind the success of Shiseido. And he designed over the past 30 years an extraordinary palace, an extraordinary residence in the Medina, which he doesn't show to the public unless we take the guest. So someone staying in a different hotel around the corner cannot go. But if the guests call me and say, please, Monsieur Messon, can I come with you? Yes, I will say, yes, you come with me. And this house, will take you a couple of hours to visit. Oh, your heart. He says, even if I don't have any visitors that day, it doesn't matter. Even if I don't see anyone for 3 days or for a week, it doesn't matter. But whenever I have people coming, I want to make sure that they are coming from Royal Mansour and they are the good people, and they will understand what I've tried to achieve in my house. So that's the type of things we can do.
Amazing.
But I'll give you another example. A couple of months ago, I had an American couple. So I went to see them to say hello, welcome, you know, we're delighted to be with you, what can I do for you? And they said, JC, everybody calls me JC. You know, we are getting married in a month in America, in Philadelphia, and we have a big wedding with 800 people.
Wow.
Oh, I said, congratulations. They said, but what we'd like to do is to have another wedding here tomorrow at 5 p.m. I say, okay, and it's just the 2 of you? Yes, but we have the dress, I have the suit, I have the dinky bow, and we want something special just for the 2 of us. So with my team, we set up a wedding in the spa. You've seen the spa, you've seen the cage. We did the wedding there, and I was the wedding officer. I watched all night 4 weddings and funerals to make sure I would have all the attitude and the wording. And I dressed up all my girls in beautiful Moroccan gandura and kaftan. Oh, it was a dream. They cried, non-stop. They had a fantastic time, and I paid for most of it. You know, had the music, and we did the flowers, and it was not a question of money. It was a question of how can I make this lovely couple happy with a memorable emotion. That's what we can do.
That's exactly the storytelling. I was just thinking, can I ask you for some stories or not? Because for sure there are some hidden stories you would never can talk about that. But what you mentioned before, I started to cry.
I cried that day. If you don't cry when you do something like that, you cannot be a good general manager.
Exactly.
You know, you have to share that emotion, that passion, that feeling, and that's very important.
You know, you mentioned Serge Lutens.
Yep.
And as for me, I'm traveling, we are traveling a lot because of our business around the world. We saw, I don't know how many thousands of hotels, but I would never forget Royal Mansour, first time when I entered in a 3-bedroom Riyadh. And I was like, oh my God. And for me, I'm a fan of details. I'm like sick about details at home and everywhere. And I was going and touching, and what's that, and what's that? And our butler, I think he was like, oh my God, when she will make the end with that. But I was really asking a lot of questions. And as we also saw now in our Riyadh, all the details are in the room. Maybe you have any special art objects you love here in the Royal Mansour, or maybe there are some special ideas, because I think the design was not easy. To put all very different materials, antiques and everything together. Maybe you can a little bit tell about that.
I think it's like any design job. You have, if you have a great architect and a great designer, the architect designer came and spent a lot of time in Morocco trying to understand tradition, the culture. Same with the garden designer. You know, we didn't ask him to design a garden you would find in Japan or in America. We wanted something with the roots, you know, with the smell, with the tradition of the kingdom. So that's what both designers did. You know, it's how do we go back in the tradition, but how do we modernize as well the tradition? How do we a hotel of the 21st century with a little bit of 20th and 19th and 18th and 17th, but not looking like a museum, not looking stale, and looking still lively, and looking like a showcase, which is a living showcase. And that was very, very difficult. And but we had a great team, and you know, when you enter Riyadh, you are transformed. You know you are in Marrakesh. You know you are in Morocco.
I was talking also about the Serge Lutens, because also Russian people knows, or we are saying that just one country, not in France, but the nearest to France is Marrakesh, for me at least. We have Yves Saint Laurent Museum here, Majorelle Gardens. We have the Serge Lutens house. But from the street, you would never say there is something important. Just mentioned.
Is that when you walk around the Medina, if you see a small door, it's often a very big house. If you see a big door, it's often a small house. The poor, when he goes home, he goes home to a big door. And the rich is, you know, not hiding, but you know, he goes through that little door, but he has a magnificent house. And that's what we have here, actually.
But coming back to France, as you are from France.
It's funny you say that, because we are in Africa, but we're not quite in Africa in a way.
Exactly.
And we're not in France, or we're not in Europe, but we are a little bit there.
A mix.
So it's a little mix, We're very proud of our roots, very proud of our Moroccan tradition. But we know we pick up some elements, some aspects. And same with the design, you know, we have in this hotel tradition from the kingdom, but we have the best of the Italian fabric, and the best, and the French fabrics, and the British fabrics, and we have the mirrors from Murano. You have a little twist, which make it exciting and interesting and modern.
About the influence of France into the Royal Mansour, because of the French people who was living here, or who is still living here. Do you feel that here is something more from France, or you don't have this such a kind of feeling?
No, I think we are in Morocco. We are in the kingdom. Yes, I'm French, but I do feel I feel part of the kingdom. I feel Moroccan.
This is a big one.
That's a big door. It's one of the smallest Riyadh.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But it looks like a big one.
So you go to this Riyadh, say, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then if we move this way, I show you a small door, and it's a big riad. You see, look at this one. Look at this one on your right.
Yeah, it's nothing special.
It's nothing special.
3 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms.
You have nearly 900 square meters behind that door.
Wow.
Yeah. Compared to this one, magnificent, and we have 140 square meters. That's just for a couple. I mean, it's big enough, it's huge, I mean, it's nice.
You know, I also want to ask you, what is Morocco for you personally? Because for me, it's really a part of my life since 4 years I came here first time. But you're living here. I don't talk about work now, just a person.
I think it's a people country. Generosity, hospitality, people are interested in you. They are genuine nice people. I mean, like in any countries, you have some good ones and some bad ones. But generally speaking, it's a nice country to live. I feel at ease. I respect people. They respect me. I can be I have here 600 members of the staff.
600 for how many riyal?
53. When we full, we would have 150 guests. So 150 guests, 600 staff. That's four staff per guest. And those 600 people, yes, of course, I'm the boss, but I can be a father. I can be a brother for them. I'm here to help. And it's not like you run a hotel in France or in London. You go home at night and you forget about your staff. Here, you're part of their family. You make sure that in terms of health, the education of the kids, the way they live, you're here to help and assist and make sure we have a good team, very well trained, very well educated, in good health. And yes, then they respect you for that because they consider you as not just as a boss, but as a friend, as a father. So that's very important. Yeah.
You have mostly local people, or how do you work? You take people from Marrakesh, or you also have from other parts of Morocco?
From Marrakesh, of course, but from all over the country. We are an incredible training school. We would have a lot of young trainees coming in, and for months and months and months, we would train them and educate them. We select people with attitude. They have the motivation. They are willing to do a good job. They are nice people, happy people. Yeah. Smile on their face. And then we give them the skills. We teach them how to do the job. Then you have a great team. Yeah. So for us, that's when I mention generosity. I want people working here to be able to give. I offer you my smile. I offer you my will to help you and be there with you and make sure you have a great stay. So that's our mission statement. It's how do we make your stay even better? It looks simple, but whatever we do in terms of the way we run the hotel and the way we train and the way we offer services, it's very elaborated. It's very well planned. It doesn't happen overnight. A lot of work, a lot of investment to make sure that the bellboy and the maid are 100% all the time and are happy to be 100% all the time.
And this is now I think it was the most amazing, I cannot say riad, place I ever saw.
It's a mansion, it's a palace, it's a hotel to itself. It's on 2,500 square meters. 2 levels of accommodation and 2 levels of gardens and terraces. You have two pools. You have your own hammam, or your own spa, I would say, with your own fitness room and hammam.
Мы только что обсуждали и говорили о том, что отель – это не только номера, но очень многие детали. В случае Роял Мансура это огромное количество деталей, но в Марокко все имеет значение. К примеру, если мы посмотрим на вот эту вот дверь, как вы думаете, что это? Это дерево жизни. Дерево жизни, это кедровое дерево, и все ручная работа, вот эти все оттенки нанесены вручную. Здесь практически все элементы имеют свое значение, поэтому нет ощущения пустоты. Марокканцы, когда они смотрят, когда они приходят к вам домой, они смотрят на то, каким образом произведена отделка, они понимают в том числе уровень жизни. К примеру, Вся вот эта мозаика, она не просто собирается вручную, это все очень серьезная математика. Потому что, чтобы сложить вот эти малюсенькие детальки, надо иметь очень правильный расчет, иначе никогда не состыкуются одна с другой. И это все детали. Наверное, вот это Марокко для меня, да, огромное количество деталей, элементов, внимание к мелочам, которые создают огромное целое. Because there are very different royal suites, or I don't know, presidential suites in lots of countries. Thank you. But here it's really something very spectacular.
In design, concept is very Moroccan. The light would come from the roof, from the ceiling, and from the center courtyard, you have all the different rooms. So this is what we would call the public floor. Public floor means that's where you entertain and where you welcome people. The first floor, where you have the bedrooms, would be the private floor, where your guests are not allowed to go up. So here you would welcome people for tea, a coffee. You would take them to the sitting room, which opens towards the garden and the pool.
Wow. I can't breathe.
Most of the time, if you go to a Moroccan accommodation, you would always have a room. In a way similar to that, maybe not as grand, maybe not as big, but where you could have at least 8, 10, 12, 14 people able to sit down. You welcome your family, you welcome your friends, you share a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. You need a place where you can all sit down, talk, little chat, talk, relax. So that's really part of the tradition. Spending time together. They are, compared to the West, they're very good. But it's quite Oriental as well, I guess. It's very important to sit down and take time to listen, to talk, to be with your family. You know, the family is important. It's very important. Your parents are very important. You always look after your parents. If you are the elder boy of the family, you look after your little sisters, you look after your little brother. Well, in any Moroccan house, you would have 1 or 2 sitting rooms like that, where there was everybody sitting around. Tea, coffee, dates, milk, sweets. You eat and you talk and you drink.
So now we are in one of the parts of ways how to celebrate time, I would say, because I think here in Marrakesh I have a feeling you have to celebrate time.
Celebration, birthday, engagement, wedding, anniversary, celebrating just with friends, family. Celebrating is very important, yeah. And if you take this riad, it means you want to have some good time with your friends and family. And in this world today, you spend your time on your iPhone or your Android or whatever. You don't talk very much, you run around, you have no time. You come here, forget that. And it's time to be with your friend, spend some good time, share some good emotion, share some good moment. And you forget about the stress of the day. You just relax and enjoy and take time for you and for your family. And I think that's very important. Here we go. Oop.
It's for me to understand who's usually taking this riad, what countries, people from what country?
Any nationalities, American, Chinese, Middle East, French, Russian, English, Swiss.
Ah, a secret door. This is a theater. А вот и кинотеатр, секретная комната. Это, скажем так, известные гости отеля. Те, кого мы можем узнать. Это актеры, которые принимают участие в марокканском фестивале, кинофестивале. А вот здесь вот фитнес. Это если ты много кушаешь, если ты много ешь, то надо заниматься спортом. Пожалуйста. Терраса на крыше каждого ряда. Здесь в Royal Mansour со своим отдельным бассейном наверху, пальмами. Хозяйская спаленка. Но это как раз гардероб для меня. Это мой размерчик, который я люблю. А он еще с той стороны продолжается. Но это как раз мой размерчик. Здесь, видишь, секретные комнаты. Раз. И это можно делать офисом. На самом деле, Я хотела поделиться тем, что каждое интервью для меня, когда нам говорят, желаю прекрасного отдыха, хорошо провести время, я только улыбаюсь, потому что, безусловно, это не отдых. Это работа, но это огромная работа в огромное удовольствие. Так как то, что мы делаем, это возможность, у меня даже немножко руки холодные, это возможность показать нашим гостям, нашим друзьям, клиенты слово неправильное, все то, что видим мы сами. Вау!